Hello, I'm Paul Perrello, and welcome again to the Philly Factor. Every year, hundreds of people participate in an event to raise funds and awareness for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Eastern Pennsylvania. Big Climb Philly is a one-of-a-kind event providing opportunity for participants to test themselves as they climb 47 floors of stairs to the top of the FMC Tower at Sierra Center South in support of the LLS mission. Cure leukemia, lymphoma, Hodgkin's disease, and myeloma, and improve the quality of life of patients and their families. Now, the 2020 event is scheduled for Saturday, April 18th, and if you're interested in participating, we have information about how you can do that and all the great work that they do at Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Here to discuss the mission, work, and Big Climb Philly is, first of all, Alyssa Eston, campaign manager for Big Climb Philly for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And also joining us here on the program is Serena Scanzillo, Executive Committee Fitness Co-Chair Volunteer, Big Climb Philly. And she's also the CEO and founder of Serena Fit. And I want to welcome you both to the program.
Thanks for having us.
This is an event that we hear a lot about. It gets a lot of coverage. And we're going to talk about that event in just a second. But I want to go first to Alyssa and talk a little bit about what the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is all about. Now, it's, you're from the Philadelphia chapter, and there are many chapters across the country. So let's talk about LLS.
Yeah. So we are the world's largest nonprofit dedicated to curing blood cancers in the United States. We are now the 5th biggest nonprofit dedicated to cancer research in the United States as well. And for our chapter here in Eastern Pennsylvania, we cover the Lehigh Valley, the greater Bucksmont area, the Philadelphia region. So we cover huge expanse of Pennsylvania. And we serve thousands of people in our region that are dealing with a blood cancer, whether it's the patient or their families and loved ones. Our 3 pillars for our mission are research, patient support, and advocacy. So these are the 3 things that donation dollars go to when you support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and events like Big Climb Philly. It's truly a wonderful organization, and our chapter is very unique because we're in the Center for Cancer Research Development Breakthroughs in the country. Sure. I mean, we have all these wonderful universities and hospitals and research centers, and we're here able on the ground to support these researchers and doctors on the front line of cancer breakthroughs. So we're really just on the, like I said, we're on the front line of beating cancer, not just for blood cancers, but for cancers across the spectrum. Just because it's a different kind of research technique to work with the blood versus a hard tumor, and Sure. We've been able to, through blood cancer research, really make an impact for cancers across the board.
I know this may be a difficult question to answer, but if you were just to take 1 year and just say, how many people has the society helped? I mean, is there any idea? And it's hard because a lot of times you may not be aware of how the organization has helped, but any idea how many people are actually helped by the society?
Yeah, well, through our patient support program, which offers such things as copay assistance, travel assistance, helping people to get by while they're going through the darkness of a cancer diagnosis. Last year, we were able to help 300,000 people across the country. Don't know the exact number in our region off the top of my head, but across the country, we were able to help 300,000.
Yeah.
So.
And chances are people may not be directly affected by leukemia and lymphoma, but they may indirectly be affected because it may be a coworker, it may be a coworker's son or daughter, it could be a spouse. So, a lot of times people will say, well, why would I want to participate in Big Climb Philly when I'm not suffering from it. I don't know anyone that suffers from it, but yet it is a great project to be involved in.
Yeah. Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer in the United States. There's a huge statistic there. Personally, for me, my mission connection, as we say in the field, is my mom had a breast cancer and she did pass away from it. But I decided to support and work for this organization because I looked them up, I saw the research. Like I said, the research that they do affects cancers across the spectrum, including breast cancer. And that's why I was like, it's okay. I'm not working for, a breast cancer targeted organization, because I know that the work that LLS does really has helped people like my mom. I mean, she was given like a 1 year to live diagnosis. She ended up living for 14 years. And that's because the research has come so far in such a short amount of time.
Wow.
So that's personally why I support, and I don't have a direct connection to blood cancer, but unfortunately it's hard to find someone who doesn't have a direct connection to cancer these days.
Yeah.
Right.
Serena, let me ask you, how did you get involved with LLS?
Yeah, I was approached last year. I'm, obviously a fitness professional in Philadelphia. I'm constantly trying to inject myself into community events in Philly. A lot of the work that I do is online, but it's really important that I obviously maintain kind of like a boots on the ground type vibe in Philadelphia. So I was working with Athleta as an ambassador last year, and LLS came through to, kind of work with us and host a few classes to get the word out there about the Big Climb. I had honestly no idea the race existed, and when I was approached to it, I don't know, there was kind of just like I liked the uniqueness about it. I'm all about kind of like one of one things. I don't like being one of many. And this is a truly like a unique opportunity for anyone involved to not only support an amazing organization, but to stay fit.
Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about the event itself. It's scheduled for April. Registration is open. It is 47 stories at Sierra Center South, right? Serena used the word race, but you're not necessarily running up 47 stories. You could if you want, but it is a journey from the ground level up to floor 47.
Correct. Yeah. So last year was my first time, running or walking or doing a little bit of both. Me and a cohort, we didn't know what to expect, but the second we walked through the doors, it was just this overwhelming positive vibe. We saw people of all ages and sizes, and it was just a really positive vibe from the start. There was absolutely nothing that made it feel like a regular 5K or like a marathon. And I keep using the word unique because it really is something that I encourage everyone to come out this year and experience. You can walk it, you can power walk it, you can sprint it, you can do whatever fitness level you're at, you can absolutely complete this race. And I keep using it as a race because it is a fitness challenge at the end of the day. No one's, I don't think, volunteering just to like walk up 50 flights of stairs, 47 flights of stairs. But this is the most motivating challenge, I think, that you'll feel supported all the way up to the 47th floor, like no matter what fitness level. So there shouldn't be any hesitation, I think.
Yep. Alyssa, what type of, I don't necessarily like the word incentive, but 47 floors, it's a lot of floors. I mean, are there people greeting the participants as they make their way up the 47 floors to encourage them to go and reach the top?
Yeah, we do. What I liken it to is a Disney experience. From the moment you step into the doors on the ground floor, what we call base camp, of the FMC tower, you are basically brought through an experience of different things before you get to the actual door to get up the stairs. So we start with an area where people can take photos. There's a Why I Climb wall, which is just a giant photo op, and you can write on a sticker who you're climbing for. Of course, for me, it's for my mom, and you put it up, take a photo. Then you are ushered to an area where you see a safety spotlight. So it gives you tips like, hold on to the railings if you want to pass on your left, or stay on your right. Take it easy. We have 4 water stops leading up the stairs on 4 different levels, so you can see that there. And our sponsors do sponsor that. The FMC Corporation sponsors that whole area as well. And then you are brought in all the way to the presenting stage. So at the presenting stage, before you actually even get up the stairs, you have a whole program that's presented to you talking about what we do at LLS, what impact we've made locally and nationally, and then we cap it off by highlighting a climber in that specific climb time and their story. So sometimes it's a survivor, sometimes it's someone who's lost someone, sometimes it's someone who's going through it right now, or a child, and it's so impactful because their team is there in the crowd listening to this, and they get up on stage and the speaker talks about their story, and then they high five everyone as they're going up the stairs, and then they just follow their climb time. So people go up the stairs every 10 seconds, and we have about 12 or 10 or 12 different climb times. And then of course going up the stairs, we have cheerleaders, we have music, like I said, we have water stops, we have signage, some like this, and we have signage that people actually earn for their fundraising. One is a tribute sign, where they can actually create a sign for one of their loved ones, so you'll actually see that going up the stairs. And to me, that's like the heartbeat of the stairwell, because you see, dozens of signs of people in our community that why they're climbing, the pictures of themselves or loved ones, like when they were in treatment. It's so beautiful, and for that reason, you want to take your time going up so you can see these.
Yeah, I remember people stopping along the way and kind of like reading some of the notes, because the pictures and like their motivational quotes along the way too. And then wasn't there like a remembrance floor?
Yeah, the 9th floor, like every 9 minutes in the United States, someone passes on from a blood cancer. So the 9th floor is our remembrance level, and it's a quiet floor. We don't have any music, and we just post photos of people who have passed on. And it's really, really impactful. I mean, a lot of people take a moment, they, shed a tear and move on, but that's our way of honoring, our heroes that have passed on before us. And then when you get to the top, which is one of my favorite parts, we actually have survivors handing you your medal, which is, it's just so, it's something else. So this event, like it's like Serena said, it's a little different than a 5K or a marathon, because the heartbeat of our mission, it just is, it goes throughout the entire moment, from the second you walk into the FMC tower until you get all the way up at the top, where we have our volunteers, many of them college students, alongside survivors, handing you your medal. It's a one-of-a-kind event. I very much encourage everyone to come out.
We're showing during the interview the ways you could reach the Leukemia Lymphoma Society and reach out to them. If you're interested in participating in Big Climb Philly, it's all there. And even before we started talking, you can register right up until, not recommended, but you can register right up until the day of, and even on the day of the event. But you get all that information on the website there. And is there, Serena, a time frame in which a person, once they start, does it take them to complete this? Kiddingly, I said, 6 hours and 47 minutes later, and you still haven't reached, the 47th floor. But on average, how long does it take for a person to reach the top?
Yeah, I would say on average maybe 20 minutes. maybe 25 max if you're really just power walking it, or walking and reading and stopping along the way. There is by no means someone like at the end trying to like push you like to wrap it up.
Yeah.
No one's playing that role. So it's something that I think could be done in 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Again, like a really doable challenge that is just so fun and impactful.
Yeah. Philadelphia is not the only city that has participated in big climbs. It actually started, I believe, on the West Coast. This event started?
Started in Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle is the biggest climb in the country. We are the second biggest
Really?
in terms.
When you say in terms of
In
floors
terms of fundraising.
Oh, fundraising.
So in
Okay.
terms of like the impact we've been able to make on the mission. So Seattle started 30 years ago. They're extraordinarily successful. I think they raise close to $3 million a year. I believe it's their biggest event in that chapter. They also have a firefighter climb, which we hope to have one day too. But
really
we would
cool.
definitely invite our armed forces, our firefighters, our veterans, our police, everyone to come out and climb. But yeah, they do really well. And then we had Boston, Dallas, Minneapolis, New York City. And this year is especially unique because it's our first year being a national event under the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society banner, which means we get a lot more support from our national base. And we have spread to, I believe, 7 or 8 more cities. So now we are a national big climb campaign. Philly is a leader in that, as we set the campaign standards of campaign excellence of how the event is. Exactly how it was in Philly is how it will be duplicated in every other city before and after us, because we truly did an incredible job, thanks to our team on the back end, of creating like a really wonderful event experience. So because we did such a great job with the event experience and the fundraising, the LLS leaders decided to just like take this show on the road. So we have it popping up all over. San Francisco's a new one. I think their building is a Salesforce tower, and it's over 60 flights. It's one I really want to do. Then
really cool.
yeah, so.
And weren't you mentioning the base camp map you were showing me is
Yeah.
like something to be replicated as well?
Yeah. So yeah, like what Serena's referring to. Yeah, the base camp, the bottom floor, the Disney experience sort of thing. That will be replicated in all the other buildings across the country. So.
I have to ask, and I already know the answer to this, is have both of you done Big Climb Philly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many have you done?
I've done now the last 2.
Okay.
So I do it in multiple ways because I help set up the stairwell.
Yeah, you're busy from
Right.
I also clean it up at the end, which cleaning it up took me about 40 minutes, and that was pulling all the things off the walls. So trust me, you can do it in a lot less than that if you don't have to do all that work.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's really not that bad. I did it in maybe like 25 minutes, and I was truly taking my time. Even though I had helped create all the signs, I still read like every single one of them going up.
Yeah, Serena?
I did it last year with a cohort, and we were trying, like we were jogging up the flights, and we did it in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, there may be some people that might say, well, how do I, and Serena, I'll address this question to you, how do I prepare for something like this? I mean, it's something like I want to do it. I feel like I have to do it. Maybe there's a bigger vested interest in doing it.
Yeah.
But how do I prepare physically for an event like this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of conditioning involved. So that's obviously being able to manage your heart rate and your breathing. You don't want to have to walk up the one flight of stairs and be completely exhausted. So I would start with something simple, maybe just like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday walking program, anywhere between like 30 and 45 minutes at a brisk pace that challenges you. And then add in a little bit of strength training, some cross training that challenges lower body work, lower body strength training, and core work. We need strong cores to be able to take one step in front of the other. And a nice, well-rounded program that's consistent over a couple months will absolutely help you get to the top.
Yeah. How old, how young, maybe, let's go, the youngest participant. I mean, are there age restrictions?
There are. you have to be at least 8 years of age to participate.
Okay.
And these 8-year-old people usually fly past
Oh, I'm
everyone
guessing,
else.
yeah.
But yeah, no age restriction at the top, but generally, you know, we don't have a lot of elderly folks signing up for this, but everyone's welcome. Everyone except anyone under 8 years old. And also to piggyback off what Serena was saying before, we actually offer free fitness pop-up climb clinics throughout the season with our fitness partners across Eastern PA, so not just Philadelphia, but in the suburbs as well. Serena Fit runs a few of them online. We do some with Core Fitness at the Art Museum steps, which is a great place to train. We work with Athleta, so, and all that information will be on our website too. But they're free. They're free for anyone. You don't have to be registered for the climb. You can just come out, learn about it, do a free pop-up fitness class with us, get some tips on how to actually physically prepare with us. So yeah, we really want to take a holistic approach to this, which is why we have Serena on board of really looking at the community in a full wellness approach.
So what year is it in 2020 for Big Climb Philly?
This is our 5th year.
Our fifth year. So over those 5 years, have you seen this grow in number of participants as well as money that is raised? Explain for our viewers how that works, because it's not like, oh yeah, this sounds like something that I want to do and I'm going to show up and just do it. You actually have to register, but there is a personal fundraising goal that you have to sign on for?
There is a pledge. So it's $150 that we ask each individual climber to reach in order to climb on event day. And that funds our mission, all those pillars I was speaking about before, all the wonderful work we do locally and nationally. So that's why we set a fundraising minimum for this event. We help people reach that goal. We give them fundraising resources, social media, assistance if they want to do an event. I come to your event to help you. We are very hands-on with helping people fundraise and reach their goal. 150 is frankly quite easy to get to, especially with social media these days. And of course, if people just want to pay it their own way, they certainly can, but it really helps to fund our mission. So
Some people might say, well, you know, 150, I could just ask coworkers to sponsor me. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, or have family members to help sponsor me to reach that goal of 150?
Exactly, yeah. That's what we recommend people do. Go online, send a text. I'm climbing Big Climb Philly, 47 floors to support the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Will you donate like $10, $20 to my cause? The average fundraising amount that people usually reach is actually around $250. So it's quite easy to reach that 150 for fundraising, especially if you're doing it as a team.
Yeah. So in the few minutes that we have left here, what do you say to the viewer? I'll ask this of both of you, and I'll go with Serena first. Someone's listening, they're watching, they want to do this. It makes perfect sense. I mean, the work of the Leukemia Lymphoma Society is so vital, so important. So what do you say to that person who may be sitting on the fence? I'm not sure. What do you tell them?
Yeah, I say if you're looking to create a nice winter goal for yourself, let this be it. We're right on the cusp of spring with the race. This is an amazing way to get up and just keep it really reasonable for yourself when it comes to setting a fitness goal. We're not asking you, again, to run 3 miles or 5 miles. This is something that goes beyond, I think, the fitness challenge and really just creates like this very like global kind of mindset around helping humanity. And like no better time than to insert yourself into something larger than yourself.
Sure. Alyssa?
I say, yes, it's an incredibly unique event. It almost brings me to tears every time I tell people about the event experience. You're supporting your local cancer patients, families that are going through the thick of it. And it's just a wonderful way to do it. We liken it to, you know, the climb that people have to make once they get a cancer diagnosis. And one step at a time, and you'll get there. So I'd say do that, and then of course we have our fitness support. If you're worried physically, we can help you get there. We actually even have a kickoff on March 14th at the Lincoln Financial Center, so you can actually climb the steps of the Lincoln Financial Center, which is super fun, and a way to like get excited, cap it off, and get ready for the big event in April. So I'd say come on out. You get to go see the Lincoln Financial Center. You get to go to the FMC Tower. You get to go to the height of some of the most wonderful places in Philadelphia, and do it for an incredible cause.
Absolutely.
We should also mention in the minute or two here that your partners in this venture are so important. You know, you have volunteers. That's an important ingredient in making this thing a success. But also your partners are so vital to ensure the success of your fundraiser.
Exactly. Our presenting sponsor is the FMC Corporation, and they have been incredibly generous and wonderful, supportive. They also have one of the most successful corporate teams that climb with us. Last year, they raised over $13,000.
Wow.
That was just their employees. So yeah, we thank FMC Corporation so much, and all of our other sponsors, Brandywine Realty Trust, AKA. We are so thankful to all of our sponsors and partners.
Well, it's been a fascinating half hour. It's a program, a challenge that, like Serena said, you might want to put yourself and insert into your life right now, as we are, you know, it'll soon be winter. It feels like it today outside, but it's a great way to kick off the spring with this Big Climb Philly. You can go online and find all the information online. You could register online. You could actually register on the day of the event. Not recommended, but you could still do it if you want. But you definitely want to find if this is the right fit for you. You want to check it out, and you'll be doing something not only for yourself, but for the good of mankind. It could be a neighbor, it could be a friend, it could be a family member that could benefit from your challenge in Big Philly Climb, and helping the mission of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. I want to thank both Alyssa and Serena for being with us here on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. It was a pleasure. And until the next time, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching The Philly Factor. We'll see you again real soon.